In a world where every notification, every piece of breaking news, and every unexpected event can shake our inner peace, imagine living unperturbed, anchored, and calm, regardless of what life throws at you. What if you could handle even the toughest challenges with grace, as though they were stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks? This is the power of Stoicism, a philosophy over 2 millennia old, yet deeply relevant to our modern lives. But Stoicism isn't merely about tolerating hardship. It's about transforming our mindset so that nothing external holds sway over our inner tranquility. In this journey, we'll dive into 10 transformative principles of Stoicism, each designed to help you cultivate a resilient, peaceful, and purposeful life. From accepting the fleeting nature of everything around us to practicing daily reflection, each of these principles isn't just theoretical. They're powerful tools to apply right now. Imagine a life where setbacks no longer shake you, where you can respond with calm clarity instead of reacting impulsively, and where each moment, regardless of its nature, becomes an opportunity for growth. Stay with me until the end of this exploration, where we'll see how embracing the Stoic way isn't just about a change in attitude. It's a path to genuine freedom, resilience, and inner peace. Let's begin this journey toward the unwavering calm that Stoicism offers. 1. Embrace impermanence. Have you ever considered the impermanent nature of everything around you? From the fleeting joy of success to the inevitable sorrow of loss, each experience in life is temporary. For many, this realization stirs unease, but in the Stoic perspective, acknowledging impermanence can be profoundly liberating. Why? Because it helps us to detach from things as though they're permanent, to approach life with greater openness, and to truly appreciate each moment. In Stoicism, understanding impermanence encourages us to live more fully. Rather than being distracted by the past or worrying about the future, we learn to focus on the present moment, the only time we truly inhabit. Think about the last time you felt a significant change, whether it was a career shift, moving to a new city, or adapting to slower rhythms as you grow older. Each of these moments reminds us that life is not fixed. The nature of existence itself is change. Now, what if, instead of resisting these changes, you embraced them? What if each transition was seen not as a loss of the familiar, but as a step toward growth and adaptation? In recognizing impermanence, Stoicism teaches us to let go of rigid expectations of how we think things should be. Instead, we learn to engage with life as it is, not as we wish it were. Consider the beauty of a sunset, the laughter of a friend, or the challenge of learning something new. When we understand that each of these experiences is temporary, we become more likely to savor them. Instead of rushing past them or allowing ourselves to be distracted, we settle into each moment with presence. Stoicism invites us to practice this mindfulness, to be fully aware that each second is unique and passing. When we accept impermanence, we begin to let go of unnecessary attachments. We learn to enjoy life's highs and to endure its lows with a balanced, accepting mind. Does this mean that Stoicism teaches us to be detached from everything? Not quite. It means we learn to hold our experiences, our relationships, and even our ambitions with a light touch, appreciating them without clinging. By doing so, we navigate life's inevitable changes, not with fear, but with a sense of purpose and curiosity. Is there something in your life right now that you're holding on to tightly? A success, a relationship, or perhaps an idea of yourself? What if you could engage with it fully in the present, knowing that it too will evolve or pass in time? This understanding doesn't detract from life's richness. It deepens it, allowing us to live more authentically. Embracing impermanence helps us face life's storms with a calm acceptance. No matter how chaotic the world becomes, we remain anchored, appreciating each moment for what it is. And as we practice this approach, we find a peace that no external event can disturb. Transitioning from this understanding of life's transient nature, let us now explore another key Stoic principle that further anchors us amid the world's changes: seeing obstacles as opportunities. 2. See obstacles as opportunities. Have you ever faced a situation that seemed like a dead end, only to look back later and realize it pushed you to grow in ways you hadn't imagined? This perspective is central to Stoicism, viewing every obstacle as an opportunity for growth. Instead of resisting life's challenges, we can learn to welcome them as teachers, guiding us to develop new strengths and insights. In our daily lives, it's easy to see obstacles as setbacks. We hit a roadblock at work, face rejection, or experience unexpected delays. How do we typically react? Often with frustration, worry, or even despair. But what if each of these moments, rather than hindrances, was an invitation to sharpen our resilience, creativity, and problem-solving skills? This is where the Stoic mindset shines. It encourages us to see beyond immediate discomfort and recognize the potential for transformation within every challenge. Imagine you're working on a project, and you encounter a snag that seems to derail your progress. Instead of succumbing to frustration, a Stoic would suggest pausing to consider, what can this challenge teach me? Perhaps it's an opportunity to develop patience, to refine a skill, or to explore a solution you wouldn't have considered otherwise. By approaching obstacles with curiosity rather than dread, you shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. This shift in perspective doesn't just apply to personal growth. It's equally transformative in professional realms. Many innovations, whether in technology, science, or art, stem from individuals facing and overcoming challenges. When we start viewing difficulties as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, we open ourselves to unexpected opportunities. We learn to engineer new pathways rather than simply patch up the old ones. Consider this. Every setback has the potential to expand your understanding and capabilities. How many times have you discovered a new skill or perspective through a difficult situation? How often has a challenging experience led you to a better, more thoughtful approach? Stoicism reminds us that adversity isn't an interruption of life's journey. It's an essential part of it. In fact, the ancient Stoics believed that facing challenges is what allows us to cultivate resilience, an invaluable trait in navigating life's unpredictable twists and turns. When we approach obstacles as opportunities, we find ourselves no longer overwhelmed by external events. Instead, we become active participants in our growth. What might have initially seemed like a setback now becomes a purposeful challenge that encourages us to reach beyond our limits. In this way, Stoicism not only helps us cope with adversity, but transforms it into a source of strength. Reflect on the obstacles you've faced recently. How did you respond? Could you have viewed any of these experiences as an opportunity for growth? As you practice this shift in mindset, you'll find that even the most daunting situations can offer insights and possibilities for advancement. From this powerful approach to challenges, we move to another Stoic principle that protects our inner peace: learning to focus on what we can control. 3. Focus on what you can control. Practice detachment. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is learning to focus only on what we can control and to let go of everything else. But what does this mean in practice? In a world full of unpredictable outcomes and events beyond our grasp, Stoicism encourages us to place our energy where it truly matters, on our own actions, attitudes, and responses. By doing so, we preserve our peace and protect ourselves from unnecessary turmoil. Consider a scenario many of us have faced, awaiting the results of a job interview. We've done everything in our control. We prepared, presented ourselves well, and followed up. But the decision ultimately rests in someone else's hands. In moments like this, Stoicism reminds us that our peace of mind should not hinge on the outcome, which we cannot influence. Instead, we can find contentment in knowing we've done our best. By accepting where our control ends, we free ourselves from needless anxiety and embrace the present moment with clarity. Detachment in Stoic practice isn't about indifference or apathy. Instead, it is about understanding the boundaries of our influence. It's a powerful form of acceptance that allows us to engage with life fully while remaining unburdened by things we cannot change. By focusing on our own efforts rather than the end results, we cultivate a calm resilience that remains steady regardless of what unfolds around us. Imagine the liberation of letting go of the need to control outcomes. How often do we find ourselves stressed over delays, whether in traffic, in the workplace, or even in life's larger plans? Stoicism teaches us that while we may influence our actions, the ultimate outcome is not in our hands. This realization grants us peace, for we are no longer at the mercy of external events. How would your life change if you let go of things beyond your control? Instead of letting external circumstances dictate your mood or sense of well-being, you would find yourself grounded in what you can influence, your own response. Practicing detachment allows us to live with intention, investing in our actions without the fear of what we cannot alter. This principle isn't about lowering our aspirations or giving up on our goals. Rather, it's about refining our understanding of what truly matters, how we conduct ourselves, the quality of our character, and the integrity of our efforts. We can pursue our objectives without the pressure of guaranteeing any specific result, knowing that our fulfillment lies in how we approach life, not in what we ultimately gain. In every moment, we face the choice of where to place our focus. By choosing to concentrate on what we can control, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering, cultivating a sense of inner freedom that protects our peace. As we embrace this practice of detachment, we discover a newfound strength, a calm, unshakable center that is rooted in clarity and acceptance. Having explored the freedom that comes from focusing on what we can control, we now move to a daily practice that reinforces this mindset: the art of daily reflection. 4. Practice daily reflection. Daily reflection is a cornerstone of Stoicism, a quiet yet powerful practice that allows us to examine our day with honesty and intention. In a world that often pulls us in many directions, this habit offers a few minutes to pause, look within, and assess how closely we are living in alignment with our values. For the Stoics, reflection was not about self-criticism, but about self-awareness and gentle improvement. Picture yourself at the end of the day, finding a quiet moment to sit with your thoughts. You might take out a journal or simply reflect in silence, asking yourself, did my actions today align with the person I want to become? This simple question opens a window into your intentions, your reactions, and the impact you've had on those around you. Through this practice, we gain clarity on what truly matters to us, whether it's kindness, integrity, or resilience. Stoicism teaches us that self-reflection helps cultivate virtue, the essence of a life well lived. This habit doesn't require much time, but its benefits are profound. It's a practice that helps us move forward intentionally rather than merely drifting through life. When we pause to consider our actions, we strengthen our awareness and make space for personal growth. And over time, this self-awareness becomes a guiding compass, helping us navigate life's complexities with wisdom and purpose. Daily reflection is also an opportunity to celebrate small victories, those quiet moments when we acted with patience in a difficult situation or responded with kindness despite stress. Recognizing these moments of alignment reinforces our commitment to living virtuously. When we see ourselves acting with integrity and grace, we gain confidence in our path and build a sense of inner contentment that no external event can disrupt. Of course, reflection may also reveal areas where we could have responded differently. Perhaps we recognize moments when we were too quick to anger, when we let anxiety cloud our judgment, or when we acted out of impulse rather than wisdom. Stoicism teaches us not to dwell on these moments with harsh self-judgment. Instead, we view them as lessons, as opportunities to grow stronger. In this way, reflection becomes a gentle, constructive habit that deepens our understanding and helps us respond more mindfully in the future. Have you tried reflecting at the end of each day? Even a few minutes spent reviewing your actions can make a difference. Imagine building this habit over time, creating a feedback loop that encourages you to live in greater alignment with your highest values. Through daily reflection, we become more mindful, more intentional, and more aware of the patterns that shape our lives. As you practice this habit, you may find that it naturally enhances your emotional resilience. When we reflect regularly, we're less likely to let unexamined feelings simmer and more likely to process our emotions constructively. In this way, daily reflection becomes not only a practice of self-awareness, but a practice of emotional regulation, one that supports our overall well-being. With reflection as a powerful anchor in our day-to-day lives, let us now explore the next Stoic principle that further supports our peace of mind, distinguishing between real and imagined threats. 5. Master worry by distinguishing real from imagined threats. How often do we find ourselves anxious over things that may never happen? The Stoics observed that much of our suffering stems from imaginary fears, scenarios we construct in our minds that only serve to drain our energy. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between genuine, immediate concerns and those hypothetical what-ifs that serve no purpose but to disturb our peace. Imagine a situation where you're feeling anxious about an upcoming meeting. Perhaps you've started to imagine all the ways it could go wrong, envisioning every possible mistake. But is there real evidence that the meeting will unfold this way? Or are these simply projections of past insecurities and fears? Stoicism encourages us to ask these questions, to examine whether our worries are grounded in reality or merely products of our imagination. This practice doesn't mean dismissing all concerns. Rather, it involves a careful evaluation of our thoughts to see if they hold substance. Stoicism encourages us to focus on the present moment and to conserve our mental energy for actual challenges rather than the phantoms of our imagination. When we learn to recognize real threats versus imagined ones, we significantly reduce our anxiety and build a sense of calm resilience. The key to mastering worry lies in grounding ourselves in the present. When we find ourselves spiraling into a maze of what-ifs, Stoicism suggests we pause and ask, what is actually happening now? Is there evidence supporting this fear? Or is it simply a story in my mind? This act of questioning not only disrupts the cycle of worry, but helps us return to a more balanced state of mind. Consider how liberating it would feel to stop wasting energy on worries about events that may never happen. Imagine focusing instead on what is within your control, addressing real problems as they arise, and letting go of hypothetical fears. Through this practice, we conserve our mental resources and direct them toward constructive action, engaging with life from a place of presence and clarity. How often do your thoughts dwell on hypothetical fears? How would your life improve if you could redirect this energy toward things that are real and immediate? Mastering worry is a powerful way to protect our inner peace, enabling us to live more fully in the present. In practicing this Stoic approach, we strengthen our mental resilience and free ourselves from the habit of unnecessary anxiety. Now that we've examined the benefits of focusing on real rather than imagined concerns, let's turn to another essential Stoic principle for cultivating inner calm, developing practices that nourish our peace of mind. 6. Develop inner peace through consistent practices. Imagine having a calm, unwavering center within yourself that external situations cannot easily disturb. Stoicism emphasizes cultivating such inner peace, not by eliminating life's difficulties, but by developing practices that anchor you regardless of what unfolds around you. The Stoics understood that peace comes not from controlling our environment, but from training ourselves to respond to it thoughtfully and intentionally. How can we create this center of calm within ourselves? It begins with small, consistent practices that restore our sense of balance and resilience. Activities like mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing are invaluable tools for calming the mind and reconnecting with the present moment. These practices allow us to navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with clarity, helping us maintain composure in times of stress. But building inner peace also involves engaging in activities that bring joy and relaxation. Perhaps you enjoy reading, gardening, or spending time in nature. These aren't merely pastimes, they are essential parts of a balanced, peaceful life. When we dedicate time to these restorative practices, we reinforce our ability to return to a state of calmness, even when external situations become challenging. Stoicism encourages us to see these activities as foundational to our well-being, not indulgences to be postponed or neglected. In addition, embracing Stoic principles like focusing on the present and accepting things as they come contributes significantly to inner peace. When we let go of regrets about the past and worries about the future, we learn to appreciate the present moment fully. Stoicism teaches us that peace is found here and now, in our direct experience of life as it unfolds. Have you ever noticed how your peace of mind is affected by the people around you? Cultivating a supportive social environment is also key. Surrounding yourself with people who share or respect your peaceful mindset, who bring out the best in you, strengthens your resilience. On the other hand, those who stir conflict, drama, or negativity can be obstacles to inner calm. While we cannot always choose every person in our lives, we can choose how we respond and set boundaries that protect our peace. Inner peace is an ongoing process, a practice that requires consistency and commitment. It's like building a reserve of calm within, a well that you can draw from in times of difficulty. As you nurture this peace, you'll find you're not only better equipped to face challenges, but also more present and engaged in life's joys. This serenity is not only beneficial to your own well-being, but also has a ripple effect, enhancing the peace of those around you. Having laid the groundwork for inner peace, let's now explore a principle that enhances our interactions with others and helps us navigate emotions wisely: choosing rationality over impulsive reactions. 7. Choose rationality over emotional reactions. How often do we find ourselves reacting impulsively, only to regret our actions later? Stoicism teaches that while emotions are a natural part of being human, we must avoid letting them dictate our actions. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to prioritize rationality, to pause, think, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Choosing rationality doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. Emotions carry valuable information about our experiences and responses. Stoicism doesn't dismiss this. Rather, it encourages us to observe our emotions and allow reason to guide our actions. Imagine a moment when you felt provoked. Perhaps someone cut you off in traffic, or a colleague made a dismissive remark. The immediate instinct might be to respond angrily. But would that reaction truly serve you? Would it bring you peace or improve the situation? Stoicism invites us to take a step back, assess the situation objectively, and ask questions like, what will I achieve by reacting this way? Or is there a more constructive approach? This pause allows us to manage our responses in a way that aligns with our long-term goals and values, rather than succumbing to short-term emotional impulses. Adopting this approach can profoundly impact our personal and professional relationships. When we choose rationality, we become more measured, thoughtful, and respectful in our interactions. Rather than reacting defensively or angrily, we address issues based on their merits. This helps us de-escalate conflicts and fosters a more harmonious, collaborative environment. Moreover, prioritizing rationality over impulsive reactions also helps in stress management. By responding calmly and thoughtfully, we avoid situations where we might later feel regret or guilt for actions taken in the heat of the moment. When we look back on these moments, we gain confidence in our ability to handle challenges with poise and integrity. Does this mean we'll always get it right? Of course not. Practicing rationality over emotionality requires patience, self-awareness, and continuous effort. Techniques like mindfulness or meditation can support this practice by training us to observe our thoughts and emotions without immediately acting on them. Over time, this self-regulation strengthens our ability to engage with our emotions thoughtfully, acknowledging their presence without allowing them to control our decisions. Think back to a recent moment when you reacted impulsively. How might the outcome have changed if you had paused to consider a rational response instead? This practice of choosing rationality over reactivity not only strengthens our character, but also brings immediate benefits in the form of reduced conflict and increased clarity. As we cultivate this discipline, we build a foundation for a more stable, thoughtful, and resilient self. Let's now turn to the next Stoic principle, which addresses the power of focusing on the process rather than the outcome. 8. Avoid self-generated distress by reducing reactions to minor issues. How often do we let minor inconveniences disrupt our peace? A delayed flight, a spilled drink, or an unexpected traffic jam. These moments are often beyond our control, yet we frequently allow them to upset us far more than they warrant. In Stoicism, there's a practice of becoming mindful of these small annoyances and learning to avoid giving them undue emotional power. Stoicism reminds us that it is not the event itself, but our reaction to it that determines our experience. Imagine you spill coffee on your shirt on your way to an important meeting. In that moment, you have two choices. You could allow this mishap to ruin your mood, perhaps grumbling about your bad luck, or letting frustration cloud your mind for the rest of the day. Or you could acknowledge it as a minor inconvenience, clean up, and move on with your day unbothered. By choosing the latter, you conserve your mental energy and preserve your peace of mind. The Stoics taught that we often create our own suffering by reacting disproportionately to small events. If we can train ourselves to pause and consider, is this truly worth my peace? We'll find that many things that used to irritate us no longer hold the same sway. This habit of reflection and choice becomes especially powerful when we face recurring triggers in our daily lives, situations where we habitually feel frustrated or impatient. By recognizing these moments and choosing not to allow them to disturb us, we gradually free ourselves from the grip of trivial irritations. This practice is not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. Like all Stoic disciplines, it requires patience and persistence. The next time you feel yourself becoming upset over something minor, try pausing for a moment. Ask yourself, in the grand scheme of things, how significant is this? By keeping the bigger picture in mind, we can let go of unnecessary stress and focus on what truly matters. Imagine how much lighter you would feel if minor grievances no longer held such power over you. Think about the relationships, conversations, and experiences that could benefit from a calmer, more composed you. By practicing not creating our own upsets, we cultivate a more peaceful and resilient mind, grounded in reason rather than fleeting irritation. This approach leads us to the next Stoic principle, which shifts our focus from outcomes to the process itself, an essential mindset for a life grounded in purpose. 9. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. In a results-driven world, we're often taught to focus on achieving specific goals, a promotion, a fitness milestone, or a certain level of financial success. However, Stoicism teaches us a different approach, one that emphasizes the process over the outcome. Rather than becoming fixated on reaching a particular destination, Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on how we're moving toward it. In other words, it's about focusing on the journey and making sure that each step aligns with our values and character. Imagine a goal you're working toward, perhaps in your career or personal life. Stoicism asks, are you putting in honest effort? Are you cultivating the necessary skills? Are you approaching this journey with integrity? When we prioritize these questions, we shift from obsessing over results to valuing the quality of our actions. This Stoic approach not only reduces the anxiety and pressure that often come with goal setting, but also makes the journey itself more fulfilling. Consider, for example, someone training for a marathon. Rather than fixating on the race day outcome, they would do well to focus on the day-to-day process, the consistency of their training, the progress they make over time, and the discipline they cultivate. By emphasizing the how over the what, they become more resilient and find joy in the effort itself, regardless of the final result. This mindset also means that if something unexpected prevents them from completing the race, they can still take pride in the character and discipline they developed along the way. Focusing on the process rather than the outcome is also a path to building character. When we concentrate on the quality of our actions, we become people defined not by fleeting achievements, but by our virtues, persistence, honesty, patience, and resilience. These virtues remain with us through life's ups and downs, while specific outcomes may change or lose significance over time. How might your life change if you emphasized the process over the result? What if you measured success not by what you achieved, but by how you behaved and the integrity you displayed along the way? This perspective frees us from the constant anxiety of what if and brings us into the present, where we can take each step with intention and clarity. And if, in the end, the outcome doesn't align with our expectations, we are still fortified by the strength we built through the journey. This shift not only aligns with Stoic philosophy, but also leads to a more fulfilling life, one rooted in purpose rather than dependent on transient goals. With this foundation, we now turn to our final principle, one that enhances our strength by guiding us to respond thoughtfully to life's challenges rather than reacting impulsively. 10. Build resilience by learning from adversity. Every challenge we encounter in life, big or small, presents a choice to either view it as a setback or as a chance to grow. Stoicism teaches that adversity is not something to merely endure. It is an opportunity to build resilience. Each hardship, disappointment, or unexpected event can serve as a lesson, refining our character and strengthening our resolve. This is the Stoic way, to see difficulty as a teacher and to emerge stronger, not despite it, but because of it. Consider a difficult moment in your life, perhaps a personal loss, a career setback, or a period of intense stress. How did you respond? Did it break you, or did it teach you something invaluable about yourself? Stoicism encourages us to look at each of these moments, not with bitterness, but with curiosity. What can this experience teach me? How can I use it to improve? Through this mindset, we learn that resilience isn't a quality we're born with. It's something we cultivate by facing and overcoming obstacles. When we encounter adversity, we have a choice to let it overwhelm us or to face it with a steady mind. By choosing the latter, we shift our perspective, recognizing that each challenge is an opportunity to grow in strength, patience, and wisdom. Resilience, in Stoicism, is built on this foundation of choosing to face hardship intentionally, not as a victim, but as an active participant in our growth. Moreover, resilience isn't only about inner strength. It's also about accepting what we cannot change. There will always be aspects of life that are beyond our control, but we can choose how we respond. In embracing adversity rather than resisting it, we reduce the friction of fighting against life's natural course. We learn to flow with it, adapting to its challenges with a calm and resilient spirit. Developing resilience also involves embracing the support of others. While Stoicism emphasizes individual strength, it also acknowledges the importance of community and shared wisdom. Leaning on trusted friends or mentors during tough times can enhance our resilience and broaden our perspective. By learning from others who have faced similar challenges, we remind ourselves that we're not alone on this journey. As you reflect on your own experiences, ask yourself, how has adversity shaped me? In what ways have I grown stronger or more understanding because of it? Each setback has the potential to become a powerful chapter in your life story, one that enriches your character and expands your capacity for compassion and courage. With resilience as our final Stoic principle, let us move to the conclusion, where we reflect on the journey we've just undertaken and consider how to bring these Stoic teachings into our daily lives. In this exploration of Stoicism, we have journeyed through 10 transformative principles, each offering a pathway to greater resilience, clarity, and inner peace. From accepting life's impermanence to focusing on the process rather than the outcome, Stoicism provides us with timeless wisdom for navigating the complexities of modern life. These principles are not abstract ideals. They are practical tools for cultivating a life of purpose, strength, and fulfillment. Imagine a life where obstacles are no longer seen as disruptions, but as opportunities for growth, where daily reflection keeps you aligned with your values, and where the calm center within you remains undisturbed regardless of external chaos. This is the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that teaches us not just to survive, but to thrive in an uncertain world. As you begin applying these Stoic principles, remember that transformation doesn't happen overnight. Stoicism is a lifelong journey, one that requires patience, practice, and commitment. Start small, perhaps with daily reflection, practicing detachment from things beyond your control, or choosing a calm response over an impulsive reaction. Gradually, you'll find that these habits shape not only your actions, but also your inner state, cultivating a resilience that stands firm amidst life's ups and downs. We invite you to reflect on the principles that resonated most with you. Which of these will you start practicing today? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue this journey together. Your insights might just inspire someone else to begin their own Stoic path. If you found value in this exploration of Stoicism, consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this message with others who might benefit from it. Thank you for joining us in this journey toward a more peaceful, resilient life. May each step you take in mastering these principles lead you closer to the calm, unshakable strength that Stoicism offers.